What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. On this video, I'm taking it old school. We're going a couple of seasons ago without any face cam. I'm just going to be bringing you the audio for this specific video, and the reason why I'm doing that is that I am recording this on Friday afternoon, quite rushed to be honest, and I just wanted to say that I won't be doing a deadline stream, and that's why I am actually creating this video, just so that we can go over my final team selection, as well as those captaincy and transfer debates that you guys might be having. So in this video, I'll be discussing my final team. I do apologize that this might be a little bit personal, might be centered more around my own team. Usually in the deadline streams, we like to get some questions about your guys' teams, but unfortunately, that won't be the case this week, just due to the Friday night deadline. So please make sure that those teams are finalized. I don't want you guys to be caught out about this kind of Friday deadline, and I don't want any tears come at that Chelsea fixture tomorrow afternoon. So if you guys want to see my final team, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So this is going to be my final team. Yes, you'll notice there's been a couple of changes to my lineup since the team selection, and that's actually the reason why I want to talk you guys through these kind of transfer decisions, because I did release the team selection quite early on, because at that stage with a Lukaku back at full fitness, I actually thought that this week was going to be pretty smooth sailing. The transfer that I wanted to do was to take Trossard out for the likes of Rafinha, because obviously Leeds have two nice fixtures coming up, Wolves, and then I think they have Norwich away next week. So I wanted to bring Rafinha in, but then what happens? Tuchel goes and plays Lukaku against Malmo in the Champions League, and he gets injured. So that kind of messed our plans up completely, and we now had to kind of decide what to do with Romelu Lukaku. I did actually take Lukaku yesterday to Jamie Vardy, because Lukaku dropped in price. Jamie Vardy was going to rise in price. So if you guys didn't follow me on Twitter, at least you know that this transfer has been made. But don't worry about it. You'll have tons of value in the bank to do whatever you want. And because of that high value that I had in my bank, I actually took another -4 hit. So yes, another transfer was made, and I took out Trossard from Brighton and I brought in Kai Havertz from Chelsea. Now, I really hoped that Tuchel would have given us some more news today about how many weeks or maybe how many games the likes of Lukaku and Werner would be missing, because obviously if those two players are back in another game week or before game week 10 or 11, that's obviously going to kind of affect Kai Havertz's minutes, because if those two players are out, Havertz is basically guaranteed to play at that striker position. That's what I really wanted. With these lovely 3 upcoming fixtures for Chelsea, I really did want kind of an option from an attacking point of view from the Chelsea side, and Kai Havertz provides that perfect little alternative to maybe Lukaku or Werner. But if these two players come back, I mean, if they're going to come back next game week, I'll be quite angry. And unfortunately, Tuchel didn't kind of give anything away in his press conference today. And as we know, I think Kai Havertz is going to get Norwich definitely, but in terms of the upcoming game weeks, I don't know too much. And that's what I was kind of pondering actually going for Havertz. I mean, it's a high risk, high reward kind of strategy, but I decided to go for it in the end. Made this transfer a couple of minutes ago, so don't worry, you guys aren't missing out on anything. And I also will be captaining Kai Havertz. If you guys did watch the team selection, I wasn't too keen on Mo Salah, just something, maybe it's because I am a Liverpool fan. I'm a little bit dreading this game against United on Sunday. It is an away game at Old Trafford, so I reckon it's going to be quite a close one, quite a cagey one, and that's why I think they're going to stack Mo Salah, or at least double stack him on that kind of wing position. That's why I'm not really favoring him too much, and that's why I did want to kind of bring in another option, and that's why I was willing to take the -4 hit. As I always say, a hit is definitely easier to take if you're going to captain the player that you bring in, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. It's going to be Kai Havertz. Now don't worry, I haven't kind of gone mental here. I have also put up some plans for the upcoming game weeks, and what I kind of decided was that I do prefer Heung-min Son to Harry Kane, even if he might not be the best captaincy option, and you might want to captain Kane over Son. I just prefer Son at the current moment, and that's why Havertz does still provide a nice link if I want to go for him, and also Jamie Vardy, if I want to upgrade, downgrade him to Ronaldo or Kane, I can also do that in the upcoming game week. So don't worry, there is a little bit of logic around it. I'm not kind of going mental here, but I just think that Kai Havertz is a great option to go for, and especially if you guys want to go differential with your captain, this is kind of the game week to do it. And the reason for that is we have Mo Salah here that will be definitely captained by the most managers in FPL this game week. And if you guys are scared about an effective ownership, rather just captain Mo Salah, because his ownership, I wouldn't be surprised if it's about that 200% mark, at least in the top 10k. But with Kai Havertz, I'm taking a risk here because it's a nice week to kind of take a risk because of a lovely fixture at home against Norwich, which, no surprise there, worst defense in the Prem in my opinion at the moment, and that's why I do want to go for a Chelsea attacker. Now, I did see some questions floating around about who you would kind of bring Havertz in for. I wouldn't be bringing him in for a Mahrez or a Foden. I think that's a little bit of a weird scenario. I think you definitely have to keep your Man City attackers for this game week, unless we do get news, at least concrete news, that these players will be missing out. I think that transfer is not worth it. And when you do look at my own team, I could have played Mbeumo, I could have played Adam Armstrong. I would have played Mbeumo over Adam Armstrong just because I don't really think Armstrong will play in the starting 11 for Southampton. But with Mbeumo, they're relatively quite a strong side, Brentford, from an attacking point of view, and Leicester's defense hasn't been too great. The only reason why I did bring Havertz in was because I wanted to captain him, and that's what it kind of came down to. So if you guys aren't going to captain Havertz, I probably wouldn't go for him. I would just play Mbeumo because I still do think the Brentford midfielder could get something out of that fixture. In terms of the overall team lineup here, I'm going to go for Sanchez over Foster just because I do trust the Brighton defense more, and I'm kind of hoping that that game does end 0-0. I'll be quite happy if it does. In terms of the rest of the defenders, we have Cancelo, Diaz, who I am expecting to actually start against Brighton, so hopefully they do keep a clean sheet. Azpilicueta, James, more confident on James starting than Aspi, just because Aspi has played quite a lot of minutes recently, whereas Reece James didn't play in midweek against Malmo, and I think that he will feature against Norwich on the weekend because of his little bit more of an attacking threat. And I think that with Lukaku and Werner out, Chelsea really do need that attacking threat from Reece James, and that's why I'm a little bit confident of him starting. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm going to play him here because I think that game might be quite cagey. You can always get a clean sheet there. And Mo Salah already spoke about him along with Havertz. Townsend, really kind of confident with Everton this week. I think I'm going to put up quite a good performance, and hopefully Townsend gets some attacking returns. Newly introduced Jamie Vardy. Let me just talk about Jamie Vardy quickly because I think there's those of you who would be able to afford Harry Kane, and that's exactly what we were able to do. So bringing in Vardy wasn't because I couldn't afford Harry Kane. It was actually, I could have afforded Harry Kane. I could have brought Rafinha in for Trossard as well, had the exact money for that. I just prefer Vardy. If you guys did watch the preview we did yesterday, just from a stats point of view, the fixtures on paper aren't the best, not the worst in the world. So I just think that Vardy over these next three might be better than Harry Kane. And at least then it gives us enough time to assess if we want Harry Kane or if we want to go for Heung-min Son in the midfield department. In terms of this week against Brentford, I'll kind of take any returns from Jamie Vardy, not the best fixture in the world, and Brentford's defense has been pretty solid. So any kind of attacking returns I think we could be quite lucky with. And then obviously Antonio against Spurs, who don't have the best defense currently, so I think Antonio can get something out of this, and it is kind of a London derby. So let's hope for the best, and maybe hope that Antonio can get back on this kind of form that he showed in the previous couple game weeks. Really kind of spoken about Armstrong, don't think he'll start. I think Mbeumo is a perfectly fine option if you guys do want to play him. And then Douglas Luiz won't play him against Arsenal. He will be routed to my bench most game weeks. But this is kind of the team selection. Don't want to make this video too long because I know you guys want to kind of get on with your Friday evenings, afternoons. So what you can do, just switch off the video right now, and hopefully we do put in a good performance with our current team selection. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this team, what you think of your own team. Would you rather go for a Havertz or you kind of going for a Mo Salah? I think if you do own Havertz, I don't see why you shouldn't captain him because I don't really know why you do own him unless you were on a wild card and can change your team for this specific game week. But let's basically wrap the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like it if you did and subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. I'll be seeing you guys for the normal content coming up next week, and I might still see you for a deadline stream, but that's also up in the air because I am doing something next weekend. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully, as I always say, hopefully the green arrows are in our favor and Havertz absolutely bangs in game week 9. I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.